JC, how do you see yourself in this draft at your position? Do you see yourself as the best corner? Do you see you're in a group with guys? What do you think of yourself there?
I feel like I'm the best defensive player in the draft. I'm versatile. I got the size, got the speed, athletic. I face every receiver body type from Kyle Pitts to Elijah Moore, Devontae Smith, and I feel like I'm just the best defensive player in the draft.
One quick follow: have you visited or with Dallas or spoken with them at all?
A little bit. I got a meeting with them after pro day, so that'll be the real meeting.
Dante Lasting.
Hey, Jaycee, thank you for taking the time. In early mock drafts, some of the experts and analysts have you being selected by the Bills with the 30th pick. What do you know about Buffalo, and what are your thoughts about the organization?
I know it's cold. That's one thing I know. And, they're a great organization. They on the come up, and they're a real, hard-nosed team. I love the fans from what I see. I'm a big fan of Tre'Davious White. Watch a lot of film on him. So, it'll be a blessing to go to Buffalo.
Thank you.
Kyle Odegaard.
JC, on the flip side, I cover the Cardinals in Arizona, so not quite as cold there. Also been kind of mock drafted with you. What do you know about the Cardinals? Do you think that would be a fit for you with that team?
Yeah, I was a fan of the Cardinals. Well, a fan of the way they played defense when they had Pat P, Tyrann Mathieu, Gerard Powers. Their secondary was real strong. So, I feel like I fit in well, and it'll be a blessing to go play in Arizona.
Matt Baker.
What are teams asking you about the decision to opt out, and what are you telling them?
They just asked. That's exactly what they asked. Why did I opt out? And I give them the straight up answer. Going into Ole Miss week, my mom and my grandparents from Mississippi, and my mom and my two younger siblings went down there like a couple weeks early, and they had my two younger siblings got COVID. My grandparents got it, and my aunt, who was considered a high risk, got it, and ultimately she passed. But that was my main reason for opting out. Getting a chance to spend time with them, with my aunt especially before, I had to go off in training because after the season, you go right to training and have really no time to chill with your family or anything like that. And after I heard the news about my aunt and just wanted to spend time with my family before I moved on to the next stage of my life.
Do you think it will affect your draft stock either way, positive or negatively, or just?
I can tell you now, if I can go back, I opt out again because I put my family before anything, and I feel like my teammates, my coaches, and everybody know how much I love the game of football. But there's one time I put my family before the game, and like I said, if I go back, I'd do it again.
Mike Yuva.
Hey, JC, I've been asking your teammates the same question. When you look back at your time at USC through the highs and lows, what are some of the things that you were able to take away that's going to help you at the next level?
Really just the blue-collar mentality that Coach Muschamp brought to the program. Early mornings, late nights, and it was just a grinding program. Like you said, it was highs and lows. We didn't get to win as many games as we wanted to, but I feel like this program, the fans, the coaches, the players around me, molded me into the man I am today, and just helped me become a hard worker, helped me be more disciplined, and I'm real appreciative for my time here.
Peter Brukowski.
Hey, JC, I'm wondering about how you put together a plan at the line of scrimmage. How much of it is based on what the receiver does best, and how much of it is you saying, this is who I am, and I'm going to, sort of assert my will in this situation?
I feel like it's a little bit of both. I'm a real big believer in my own technique, but throughout the week, studying film, studying guys' releases, I'm also thinking what they're thinking at the line, trying to get inside their head, and off how they line up, which foot is up, what their first step is. I pretty much know the release I'm gonna get, so that's how I do it and attack it.
And just to follow up, have you talked to the Packers yet, and what have those conversations been like, if so?
No, I didn't talk to the Packers yet.
Rick Henry.
Hey, Jaycee, two questions for you. You mentioned your love for your family. What will it mean to you and your family to realize that dream of playing in the NFL, especially following in your father's footsteps?
I feel like it'll be a big thing for us, being a football family. And like you said, my dad played a long time in the league. And, we kind of used to the NFL, so it's definitely going to be, fun, being able to live out my dream. And, my dad seeing me playing the same league he dominated in. So it's just a blessing all around.
And also, how did going against NFL caliber receivers in practice the past few years sharpen your skills for this moment?
I would say, it helped me mentally more than anything, going against guys like Brian Edwards, Deebo Samuel, Shaw Smith. Those guys gave me the confidence going into Saturday that I couldn't be beat. Brian, just working with him on the outside. Shaw's more of an inside guy. Just working with Brian day in and day out, and I was, holding my own, and he was giving me some times. It just gave me the confidence that on Saturday, it'll be way easier than practice, and that's how you want it to be.
Matt Mayoko from NBC Sports. Apologize if I messed up your name.
Perfect. A lot of people have you mocked with the 49ers at number 12. And when you look at the 49ers scheme, this combination of cover 3 and man, what do you think about the possibility of fitting into a scheme like that with the 49ers? Have you talked to him? And also, Richard Sherman, how much have you looked at him through the years?
It'll be a blessing to play for the 49ers. We played a lot of man, a lot of cover 3, a lot of single high here. So I feel like it wouldn't be that hard of a transition. And then, also being able to link up with guys like Javon Kinlaw, I talk to him, maybe every 2 or 3 days. That's my guy. We was actually like shared lockers. Well, not shared lockers, we were right beside each other while he was here. So we got a good relationship. And Debo, I talk to him probably a couple of times a month. So it'll be a blessing to go there and be able to play, with those guys.
Lou Bijak.
JC, you mentioned your dad. How much have you talked with him and this whole process when he went through the experience that he might have given you? And what was his best advice that he's given you, either through the process or through your career?
Starting with the process, the best advice he's given me is really just, treat it as a business interview, and it's just a longer process, every day, just think somebody watching you. You got to be, on your toes, and just make smart decisions. And then, as far as just my career, it's kind of just, staying humble, keeping an empty cup, learning from any and everybody in the building or in the facility, wherever I'm at. And just trying to strive to get 1% better every day, never feeling like I made it or, I'm too good to take any advice from anybody.
Nate Ulrich.
Hey, JC, sorry about your loss. I wanted to ask you your aunt's name.
Janika's Long.
Okay. And, as far as your family, obviously talking about your dad, your brothers too, just kind of what was it like being in a family, being a standout corner in a family of receivers? How much do you guys talk about that? Is it something you guys joke around about? Do you pick their brains? Do you think you benefited from that?
Yeah, all my family, I got a younger brother, Jacob, who plays receiver, and my older brother, play receiver, and my dad. So I'm the only guy on the defensive side. And, it's crazy. My dad kind of pushed me that way just because, like, the aggression I had growing up and, my ball skills, he always harped on if I could do that at the cornerback position, one day I'll make a lot of money. And, we sometimes go back and forth about it. I pick on my dad, telling him that, he wouldn't be able to get open on me. We go back and forth about it a little bit.
Hey, have you had any contact with Cleveland? And if so, what has that been like? What do you think of the Browns?
Yeah, I had a couple meetings with Cleveland. Like I said, another good organization with great history. Another team that's on a come up in the league. I had a great year this year, and I feel like it'll be a blessing to play there as well.
Thank you.
Mitch Brown.
Jaycee, how's it going? For you, obviously, around this time each year, you're getting ready for spring practice. So you're in the middle of spring practice at this point. How has it been different for you now, getting ready for a job as opposed to having this kind of system in place where it's when practices, when classes. Now it's just getting to the bag.
It's been a little bit of an adjustment. Having, I wouldn't say more free time, but you're not doing busy work all the time. It's your main focus is football all day, every day. And it's like I said, it's been a little bit of an adjustment, like not having class and stuff like that. But it's cool. Just got to stay locked in. The process can get kind of nerve-wracking. You get tired of answering the same questions from different teams and doing the same workouts every single day. You ain't seeing no football. You just working on 40, vert, broad, a lot of testing stuff. It can get kind of frustrating, but, just staying strong-minded, staying, disciplined, and, just getting through it because, like you said, it's almost payday, so it's for good cause.
Dan Walkenstein.
Hey, Jaycee, Dan Wilkenstein from the Brawl Network. Actually, cover the Chargers here in LA. Want to ask you, they're looking for a lot of help at corner. There's a bunch of things that you do well, and you're looked at as kind of one of the top three, if not the top. So I guess a two-part question. One, have you talked with the Chargers and how you see yourself fitting there? And the second question is, what do you hang your hat on as a corner that might separate yourself from the rest of the pack?
I was in, Orange County training, so I like the views out there. And I talked to the Chargers a couple of times. Me and Coach Ansley, had history back in high school. He recruited me to come to Bama. So we had some history in Derwin. I linked up with him a couple of times. We were part of the same agency. Got the same agent here, real cool dude. So it'll be great to be able to play with the Chargers. And for your second question, I hang my hat on press man to man. I feel like to be a great corner, you got to be good at that. And also my IQ and just my competitiveness, how I attack the field, and how I attack every game in practice and even in the meeting room. So those are some of the things I hang my hat on.
Adam
Thank
Mack.
you. Best of luck.
Adam Mack.
Hey, Jaycee, how's it going?
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Have you been in contact with the Eagles? And a little just kind of follow up on that. Do you have a preference on going to a team that's rebuilding or a team that's contending for a Super Bowl?
I got to meet with the Eagles after Pro Day. I haven't met with them yet. And no preference on where I go, who the coach is, where it's at. None of that really matter to me. I just want to play football.
Colin Taylor.
Yeah, Jaycee, you mentioned opting out for family reasons and putting your family first in that regard. Just how tough was that process for you mentally to deal with that stuff on that side, and how did you handle a lot of the criticism that came with you opting out when you did?
Oh, it was extremely tough. I'm a real headstrong guy. Don't too much, waver me or shake me. I could deal with, all the backlash from the fans from losing and stuff like that. But, when I opted out, it was kind of mentally tough, just them calling me a quitter and, questioning my integrity and, losing my aunt at the same time. It was kind of like, frustrating and had me mad. And, it was kind of like a little Twitter war or whatever, because I was emotional just because, like, I feel like no human should act like that towards another human if you don't know the whole story. Like, I just lost my aunt, and you over here talking about football. So that was kind of frustrating, but, I fought through it. I'm in a better place now, and, I can't wait to get back on the field.
Nick Faribault.
Jaycee, one of the highlights of your game, at least on the field, is you're pretty chirpy towards wide receivers. What I guess drew that chip on your shoulder, and why do you, I guess, really like to be that chirpy with other guys? And also, have you had any contact with the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Yeah, I actually met with the Steelers today. That's crazy. And I play that way, man, it's a combination of, my dad, the way I was raised, real competitive household. It was just always been that way growing up on a video game, whatever we doing, competing. And then also just growing up in Atlanta, Gwinnett County, at camps, even since park ball, they take football real serious, and stars and ranking or anything it didn't mean anything in Georgia. So everywhere you go, you had people at your neck competing. So even with me being a high name recruit coming out of high school, I just loved like knowing that people was at my neck. Like me being Joe Horn's son, I love people wanting to knock me out just because of that. So that's where the chirpiness and all that come from.
Andrew Freeman.
Hey, JC, just wondering, what cornerbacks you like to study in the NFL or mold your game around a little bit. And last thing, have you met with the Bears?
I think I had a meeting with the Bears. I can't remember. And I study a lot of corners. Everybody really. Jaycee Jackson. One of the main ones is Xavier Howard, Gilmore, Trey White, Jalen Ramsey. I study a lot of them. And I just try to take little bits and pieces from all their games and incorporate it into mine. And, just hope it helps me on game day.
Thank you.
Augustine Esposito.
Hi, Jaycee. Agustin Esposito from No Huddle in Argentina. You were just talking about the strengths of your game, but what do you think, or where do you think you have to get better looking forward to the next level?
I would say, just playing in a straight up pedal. I didn't do much of that here in college and didn't do it in high school. So, I know it's a thing they do in the league, off man, playing in a pedal. That's gonna be one of the main focal points after pro day in my training. And then tackling, I definitely could be a better tackler, just from the technique standpoint, keeping my head up and stuff like that. And then just my pad level, my eyes, all the little stuff as a DB. I think I showed on the tape that I checked every box. I have the athletic ability and the size to do everything, but now it's just putting it all together in one box and being more consistent, play in, play out.
Amos Morelli.
Yeah, you talked about the influence your dad has had on your career so far. Would it mean anything to you to play for one of the teams that he played for, like the Saints or the Falcons?
No, not really, to be honest. It wouldn't mean much. I would play anywhere. I respect my dad and what he done in his career, but I'm just a football player, man. It don't matter where I play at.
David Miller.
Hi, JC. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good.
Good. First off, obviously playing in the SEC, it's been a conference over the last few years, which has been stacked with wide receivers that have gone on to play in the NFL. Do you feel that's prepared you for the next stage?
For sure. I remember in high school me when they saved me, and one of the things he said that stood out to me was, the SEC is the closest thing you're gonna get to the NFL. And when he said that, I made up my mind that I'm gonna go SEC no matter where I go. And it's the best decision I made just because it's great competition week in, week out. You always gonna have a guy on the other team that's a real high caliber player. And, it gets you, like you said, it gets you ready for the next level. So it definitely giving me the confidence that I can go into the next level and, be okay just because I played such tough competition in college.
Following that up quickly. Sorry. So quickly following that up, you said you look forward every week to playing some incredible talent. Is there a wide receiver in the NFL you look forward to going up against?
Probably Julio. I feel like he's been around. He's one of the legends who's been around a long time. He my GOAT, the greatest receiver of all time to me. So lining up against him, it definitely it'll be monumental for me.
Last question for JC goes to Scott Petrak.
Hey, JC, when you say you think you're the best defensive player in the draft, so does it bug you when the mock drafts don't have you super high or they have other cornerbacks going ahead of you?
Nah, it's all good. I'm not. People don't realize it's just a draft. Like, you still got to go play football after this. So it don't bother me too much, man. When I say I'm the best defensive player in the draft, that's not a statement to get teams to be like, ooh, you got good confidence. Like, I actually feel that way. So no matter if I'm first round, seventh round, undrafted, when I step on the field, I'm gonna show that. And in a couple years, we'll all get to see and experts wrong all the time. So we'll see.